Hey everyone, we're back for the top 8 now of the Virtua Fighter Open Championship here at APAC. It's the second qualifier. It's a really exciting tournament so far. I'm here as Berserk, one of your commentators out of Australia, and I'm here with Toto. How are you going, Toto?
Very well, Berserk. How are you? I'm based in Sydney, Australia. Berserk, my esteemed colleague here is 1,000 kilometers south, or what's that, 600 miles south in Melbourne, Australia. So we're really looking forward to commentating these next set of top 8 matches for you.
Yeah, so we've seen some great matches so far in the pools and top 24. And now we're going to take a look at the format of this tournament. So we're here in the second qualifier. Qualifier 1 has been completed last week, and the top 4 is waiting in the regional finals. We're about to do top 8 for today, and the top 4 will join them from today in a couple of weeks at the regional finals, with the ultimate winner of these regionals going through to the global finals. Moving on to the prize pool. Here for just these regional finals, we've got a prize today of $1,000 for first, $450 for second, third gets $300, fourth $200, and then fifth place is a shared tie for $150 and seventh for $125. So some good rewards along the way as we vie for entry into the global finals. And as we go through, we've got that APAC regional finals that all these players are hoping to enter. That'll be on September 21 from 1 p.m. UTC +8. So we'll look forward to that one. It'll be another amazing tournament based on what we've seen so far. And the exciting news that we're all looking forward to is it's been a great year in Virtua Fighter with Revo on PC, and we've got the console players joining us. So register now. Get on to the closed beta test for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and of course on Steam, September 10 to 15. Go to Sega's website and you can register. Finally, we're coming up to the EU qualifiers. So we've seen NA, we're doing APAC, and we've got the EU qualifiers coming up. So that'll be qualifier 1 on the September 28th, which will be amazing because that's just after Tokyo Game Show, and we'll maybe have some more Sega news. And then qualifier 2, October 5. So register at VFOC online. And then we also have some cool merch. Everybody who is playing in the tournament has a chance to win. We've got a range of t-shirts, and you can also go buy these. Some awesome new Virtua Fighter merch. And we need to tell you who have we got playing today in the top 8 bracket. So first up, in the winner's side, we've got Hydrix Densetsu SP, and they are playing against Oyatsuman. That's right, Oyatsuman. And then the next match in the winner's side, we have Shiokara, which was Ataka, and Maido as this explosive pie. So we're looking forward to those. And in the loser side, we have Shiro, who is playing Jackie, and that's Gorgonzola, who is the Lao player. And then rounding out, we have Osag as Brad, and Babukichi, who was playing Akira. And you guys may notice if you were watching earlier, these two players did face off earlier in the bracket. So that is our top 8. We're looking forward to an amazing series of matches. Toto, we're looking at Densetsu versus Oyatsuman coming up in this first match. I don't think we know who Oyatsuman is playing as yet, because this is the dark horse of this tournament. We haven't seen them on the stream so far, but we have seen Densetsu. Impressive play. What have you thought about Densetsu's gameplay so far?
Based on what we've seen so far, Densetsu is the one to beat, right? Just really a dominant force, playing really exceptionally high quality matches against very strong players, and making his will reality. So just making the right decisions at the right times, converting every chance, crouching the throws, blocking the lows, just doing all the things that you need to do to be a top player and get your way through. So I think Densetsu has played a very exceptionally high quality tournament so far. Curious to see Oyatsuman. We didn't get to see Oyatsuman in the last qualifier, although they entered. So it'll be very interesting to see who Oyatsuman plays. I have heard the name before, but I can't quite remember who the player will be. So I'm very curious to see who they might be. I have a sneaking suspicion in the back of my mind it might be El Blaze, but we'll see. This is Densetsu SP entering the room now with his trademark Jean.
We've seen some really impressive players throughout this tournament, and also some big names that we noted as we looked at the roster who you can only have a top 8, so there's a lot of big names that actually missed out. We saw Chibita earlier, famous Leon player. We've noted, here we go, we've got Kage, so we'll see how that shakes out. But let's finish talking about some of those big names like Homsei Akira. Had a good run last time, but just missed the top 8, and then again this time.
Yeah, so you missed out, Rao missed out, Homestay missed out. A number of players missed out on this top 8, and very strong competitors too. So just goes to show how stacked the bracket is with real strong players who can be night ruiners for you.
So we're going into this match, and we found that Oyatsuman is Kage. It's an interesting one. Kage's a character that we only saw in the finals last week, so it's high tier. And off we run. Nice poking game, Densetsu. Returning he didn't make the first attack. As we've seen, we've become accustomed to seeing him responding to players, getting their measure, and then just poking through and seeing out the round.
Yeah, so great use of the Piyabare there. So Piyabare is an advanced technique and knows really well the frames of the down attack from counter hit, much less frame advantage than you think that you have. So actually you have to take a small mid there. Nice 4K plus G hit confirmed. Bit of spacing here, nice elbow converted. That's huge. Yep, so that's the spinning elbow there.
And that's new, isn't it?
Spinning elbow has
well, the elbow's
hit effect.
That hit effect, yeah, that's right. Densetsu, again, weathering a storm where he's done this so many times where the other player seemed to have gained ascendancy in the match, and he just weathers it and imposes a change.
Lovely 3-3P underneath the high of Densetsu SP. What a punish there, 4KP.
Not quite meaty on the wake up. Okay, back at neutral. Feeling each other out, looking for the opening, and the big knee. Not quite enough to finish, and that slightly delayed string, that is, the best of us do get hit by that one.
Right, so that's 4K, K, I think, is the follow-up there, but that was a dominant display there from from Densetsu SP. You really know someone has your number when they launch your like as an Abare. So he had a blocked elbow and he just went for the launch. Not sure what Oyatsuman was trying there, but just didn't work out the way that they intended.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a hard one to pick out from just an elbow. I guess they were setting themselves up for maybe a throw attempt. So that's actually a pretty interesting read in general for Virtua Fighter players to think about, because a lot of players do lay down an elbow and set up a throw attempt. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, so that's, if you a throw after your opponent's blocked elbow is a pretty normal risk to take. So having it be launched is very demoralizing, but it is a first to 3 in this top 8, so there is a bit of time for Oyatsuman to adjust to Densetsu's style. Of course, we will see if they are able to. That was quite a dominant display, but definitely you could see some promising signs there. So the spinning elbow giving the combo, and some genre matchup knowledge there. The 3-3P underneath the high of the string.
Yeah, I think that the hard part is going to be adjusting to Densetsu's further adjustment, because we've seen they're such a strong observational player. They will wait and see what the opponent will do.
Oh,
Nicely
wow.
done.
Half circular there on the 4PK. That's huge.
It's so hard to read that low because he does it from standing, and the animation doesn't give you much time to indicate that a low is coming. He doesn't duck.
Yeah, and of course, the online being a factor. What a launch! Okay, trying the cancel charge there. Nice 4P to do half circular damage there.
And it busted through Densetsu's jab as well because it starts crouching and hops up to the high. So that was really well read.
Yeah. Nice round, Oyatsuman on the board here. Trying to catch those Abares. Threatening Abare there himself, but...
Oh, wow. He chose not to do the immediate follow-up, and the opponent, knowing that there's a follow-up coming, is just stunned. They're waiting, as in they're mentally stunned. And the offensive move to the side was even more effective.
Yeah, and that 1P, he's using that 1P so well across all his matches. 1P from Jean is half circular, and using it to get side wall stuns or catching his opponent evading the wrong way. Nice interrupt with the charge there.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for against Sean. Any chance. Ooh, and just enough. Finishes the string and grabs a round. Looking good.
Yeah, caught the crouch or did it meaty, and then they get the string guaranteed. So even on rounds, let's see if Oyatsuman can get the result here. Nice 4K plus G confirmed.
Nice use of defensive move again. It's got to put the opponent a little bit on tilt because he did the stun and then offensive moved. Nice blocking.
Great punish. Great crush. What a conversion. This might be it. Oh no!
Oh, the weight. Yeah, it's just Jean is a little bit heavy, and he's love that. When it all else fails, the big roundhouse from Kage. It's a great move for beginners and veterans alike.
Yeah, so using that roundhouse being a half circular, perhaps looking for an evade in that direction, or quite potentially just trying to challenge a button. But I think that wall combo, he just... I don't think that would have worked on Jean if he did it too late. It was more that he did a misinput. So he did try the bounce twice, and so he had I think he forgot that he had a bounce previously in the combo and it didn't quite work. But interesting.
Right. I also wondered if it was because Jean is in the higher side of middleweight and it was also off axis. So there's a couple of elements there that I thought might have put him off. But yeah, you might be right. It's because as you're doing combos or dealing with the opponent, you're kind of running. There's a rhythm. You're always counting, and one of the things that you have to keep in mind is if you've bounded your opponent, you can't do it twice.
That's right. Yeah. So in combos, you're only allowed, with very certain rare exceptions, on the small bound. In some Brad combos and some Leifei combos, generally you get one of each. You get one big bound and one small bound in each combo. So you just have to be careful and keep track of that. But that was good anyway. Good fortitude for Oyatsuman to recover from that and win the round.
And we've got two matches down, one each out of 3. Back to City. That was a favourite stage to go back to. Lots of room to move. Nice evade. Going to Jean's back on the side attack.
What a parry.
Sabaki. Oh, straight in. That's nice. So I think there was a little bit of awareness. The wall was hidden because it was close to screen, but they were close to the wall on the viewer side. So there's a little bit of an attempt to do a side hit.
Yeah, I mean, that wall awareness is so high with Densetsu and with Oyatsuman so far. Nice punish there on the 4PK blocked. Great guard break. This is it if converted. Oh, slip left.
A bit left. Oh, those pokes.
What a block.
It was such a good block, but nothing gained. And Densetsu, through a wall of pokes, finally breaks through and wins that round.
Yeah, Oyatsuman assuming that Densetsu would use the life lead to challenge, but not quite. Densetsu playing really defensively. Great conversion there.
It's a beautiful hop over the low kick. Okay. Nice patience shown by Kage to just block low and go for the high hit.
Yeah, really
well
good. Really good to pull around back there. That's the mid. Okay, didn't fall for it. Didn't crouch.
Oyatsuman making great use of the hit throw. Guaranteed. Oh, look at the patience as he walks back in stance. Neutral throw. And just making space.
So he missed that 4K plus G hit throw there. That was the round, but maybe didn't quite believe in it. But that's 2 rounds apiece now. Let's see what Oyatsuman can do here.
Nice poke. Just exchanging with the basics here at the moment.
Yeah, interrupted charge as well. That's he's become used to the timing of the charges, and he's now been interrupting it a couple times. Great evade. What a parry read.
Ooh. Oh, that was beautifully done. Read the charge immediately, PPP to finish. So now it's Oyatsuman who's up on Densetsu, and this is interesting. Like now that we're at 3 out of 5, this would normally have been the end of the match, but we've seen this before. Densetsu is great at adaptation, so we can expect him to make some changes into his gameplay, and we could see a turnaround.
Definitely. So I think that Densetsu definitely has it in him to adjust to the style. So it looks like where his button presses have been adapted to, and especially the parry getting blown up by the 4K plus G was a really good read by Oyatsuman there. So it'd be really interesting to see how he changes his style to match that.
Well, a little bit too much at neutral there, and Kage just reads that. Oyatsuman getting the throw.
Huge counter hit there on the side.
Full combo.
Big damage, nice correction. What a 1P. Oh!
And that's the trouble against Densetsu and Jean, because it was only a few stray hits, but he does so much damage that his pokes really, really hurt.
Nice forward tech. Neutral tech, okay. Great high crush there by Oyatsuman.
Ooh, got the wall hit. I love that.
Positive. Yep, not challenging.
Both blocks stepping into nothing and then the throw. Oh, okay. Rolls twice. A little impatient. Uncharacteristic from Densetsu and a full combo. Oyatsuman taking the damage that he deserves. Beautifully done. Just fooling it with that hop into the low.
Really delayed as well.
That's a classy trick.
Isn't it? Yeah. And Densetsu a little bit afraid of the Abare there. So you saw that earlier he was doing that box step when he had advantage. That's because he's hedging his bet between the opponent's Abare and his ability to throw. Oh, nice block.
Yeah, forcing the block. Densetsu keeping... Ooh. Oyatsuman did really well there to break through that pressure for a moment, but Densetsu really on point, had the right throw escape buffered.
Great 4K plus G, doing a lot of work for Oyatsuman. The first forward throw we've seen all set. 10-foot toss. 80 damage.
And the wall carry is a huge element. And they're both so strong on the side of the wall. And ultimately, Oyatsuman gritting his teeth and making it work, like just forcing the block and doing the hit throw successfully.
This is it, match point here for Oyatsuman. What's he going to do with this? Oh, finish the string. Throw punish, be damned. Okay, looking for the wall hit there. So that move will give him a wall combo if it hits them against the wall.
That was so clever.
Oh, what a crouch on the...
Oh!
3D!
That was a weird interaction, so Densetsu's going to have to recover from that. He's now got his back to the wall.
Nice forward throw. Great mid. Oh, wow. Block.
Incredible. One more hit, and there you got that well-disguised low. That is so hard to read. That's a nice way to finish for Jean players. So that was, he was right up against it, the Densetsu. Taking the 2-2. Now we're looking at whoever wins this last round will go through to winners final.
Yeah, that was a really clutch round there from Densetsu SP. I really like the way that it was a bit too late, Oyatsuman. What he tried was the offensive move set up to the side, and then the charge kick guarantees the charge low attacks. Oyatsuman tried to mash out of it to interrupt the charge, but just a bit too late, and he got side turn counter hit. And what I really liked about that was how Densetsu converted the opportunity. Instead of doing the follow-up that you would have to do normally, actually saw what happened, dashed up, and then converted with a string before he did that sneaky low, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive in either direction. Like, we're at 2-2, we're all tied up, and we've been commenting all day about Densetsu's ability to weather whatever his opponents are throwing at him and find a way to break through. But we're seeing that from Oyatsuman as well.
Yeah, these guys are going toe-to-toe, actually. But that 4K plus G just doing so much work this set.
Great man, that's amazing. The roll causing the stun.
So, Kage doesn't have a lot of tools to guard break, but, Oyatsuman using this 4K plus G very effectively. What an evade.
Yeah. Nice evade there at one moment, but you see how Densetsu just stays on advantage.
Yeah, so doing the Piyabari after the successful evade there. So, good evade of the knee.
Yeah, I think it was an instinctive one where he went straight into PP. There probably could have been more he did because that was a big disadvantage on the knee. But you take what you can get. Nice evade again. And Densetsu playing really fast, really hectic at the moment.
Right, expecting the low and getting hit mid by Kage there after the Shippujin double sweep. One round apiece. Great neutral tech. Nice 4KP to catch the Yabare. What a forward throw.
Here we go.
Wall, though.
But it's close. Oh, there you go. That was genius. I mean, the ability to be aware that his opponent knows the wall's there, they're not quite there, and going for what looked like a low hit and cancelling it for a mid, amazing.
Yeah, that was really impressive. So that cancellation just really forcing the mental guard break of Densetsu SP there. Stop playing for a second. What an Piyabare. Nice guard break here. Yeah, last decision there for Densetsu. If he can catch him, that's it. Yep, incidental ball hit. Yeah, so that 4KP leading to punch kick, punch cancel kick there. Nice. Oh, let it rip. Great conversion. All right, using the 4K plus G very effectively.
And a post. Baki, let's turn this around.
Great down attack. Oh, wow.
Nice dodge underneath.
Oh, my goodness.
He didn't get anything off the immediate punish opportunity like a PK, but he managed to just force Densetsu on block. And his signature move at this point, that was amazing. So we've seen Akage literally come out of the shadows. And Oyatsuman has taken Densetsu. This is the same situation for Densetsu as last week. He stormed his way into the semi-finals in winner's bracket, and then he was knocked down. So this is a big challenge for him. He's waiting for a match in loser's bracket. So that was incredible.
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. That was such a good display by Oyatsuman. I really like the use of the 4K plus G. So really recognize that. Densetsu SP was holding guard a lot and hitting that hit throw very consistently, only missing it once in the whole of the 5 matches, and just really putting pressure on the standing guard there, forcing Densetsu SP to crouch or forcing him to evade, and just taking advantage so thoroughly there of a weakness. In such a high-level player, it's really an impressive thing to see. So great work by Oyatsuman, who progresses into the winners semi-final or the winners final, right. Actually.
Yeah, winners final. So we had winners semi, and we've got another winners semi coming up, which will be an exciting match. But I did want to also say that in that match with Oyatsuman, he really just there were some moments, as you say, he broke through the attacking game of Densetsu, and he was playing more of an attacking game than we've seen him do. He's played a more varied defense into attack over his previous matches, and this time he was a little bit more relentless, and instead of fully punishing immediately some of those, like ducking a low or evading the knee launcher. He would just poke again and then reset to neutral and say, this is where I want to play, and he would get that hit throw more often than not.
Yeah, definitely. What an amazing display. Kage, not quite as popular as I think in Japan as he is in the West, but Jean, not so popular as a character. But those and other polls are available on the official Discord. So if you haven't already joined, please join the Virtua Fighter official. Search for Virtua Fighter official, and you can vote on who the popular characters are. So Pai actually and Akira, two of the most popular characters in Japan, as voted in the poll. So that's why I was thinking of it. The Akira, the series stalwart, the icon. So really good to see. So Shiokara playing Akira here against Maido, not his Taka that he played against Osag.
Yeah, so and these are two players that we noted earlier. Really impressed with their play. They're so aggressive and yet so tightly wound, so perfectly measured in terms of timing and distance throughout each of their matches. So we've got two prodigies of the game, it looks like. They've studied, they know exactly what they're doing. And it's a funny thing, we've seen a few players that play Akira and Taka as a pair. And Shiokara looks like another one of those because we had a few of them last week, like Hato. And now we've got Shiokara, who we've seen playing Taka, and now switching to Akira. And I wonder if that's an anti-Pai choice, knowing his opponent.
Yeah, I wonder what matchup knowledge they have.
Of course, Maido's Pai just on point earlier, and we'll see how we run through this match.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a button check.
Just checking. Yeah. Well, that's a good way to check. We love these Japanese.
Yep.
These Japanese button checks.
Yep. Using the stun palm there.
Akira, that's the move when you first learn Akira. You want to learn how to do the just frame timing. It's just so impressive. It's that display of crazy Bajikwan action.
Yeah, that's right. Elbows and forward relentless linear movement.
Yeah, it includes the shoulder canned inside of it. Everybody loves the Bajikwan shoulder, but the stun palm is actually the signature move, I reckon. Akira's got so many iconic moves for Virtua Fighter. Like the knee alone is good. The double palm, the super dashing elbow, they're all such iconic moves. He's got that many.
Yeah, and you can see that here. I've got one of the Virtua Fighter 30th anniversary shirts on, actually. This is my t-shirt for today. So that's Super Dashing Elbow or 666p. That's a VF 30th anniversary shirt. So pick up one of those on Amazon if you are so inclined. Really cool looking designs.
And here we go into the match, and we've seen a couple of those elbows just putting the pressure on, and Maido, uncharacteristically for how they've played thus far, really on the defensive, not able to impose their gameplay on it yet.
Yeah,
here we go.
Away. So just as you say that, Maido starts taking the momentum back, but trying something a bit cheeky there to punch parry, but defeated by the shoulder of the Akira there, so which is not obviously parryable from that stance.
It's a good read, but yeah, once you're stuck in it, you're really stuck. That's why we saw it run twice, just in case Akira decided to punch. So Maido's got the initiative in this match so far. Oh, nicely read.
Wow, love conversion.
That. Look at that carry. I think that's what that one's all about. It's not different damage to the alternatives. Oh, the confidence. Just walk away. Interesting.
Good throw punish there.
I think we've... Oh, wow. Really good read. Not quite enough. Just a little bit of a wall hit to... Oh, the Yoho! And both... Oh, there we have it. Both players just going down to the wire. And this time, a 2P from Maido sees out round number 2. So we've got a game on our hands. Oh,
Yoho
nice.
Was huge. Yeah, it was
that was
really
not quite
big
close enough to the wall.
Trying to stun palm there.
Oh, caught out by the back throw again. Nice, that punch into kick cancel.
That's a forward throw there. But yeah, that
so
Yoko was really big because Maido was trying to do some fancy movement to try to bamboozle and draw the Abare out, but that was just really big. As he's crouch dashing in, you get I'll do a crouch dash launch of my own. Oh, lovely hit check. Let's see if Maido can bring this back.
Yep, nice. That's the 6-6 P plus K hop into low, cancelled by Maido. Just playing a little bit of a neutral game, and it's working. So we're 2 rounds apiece. Really competitive match now.
Yeah, doing the last hit of the punishable string there, so playing with Shiokara's superior game knowledge, going, okay, well, this is punishable, so you think I'm not going to finish it, but I will. Great 6-6P there. Almost finished. Let's see if Maido can bring it back.
Oh, back throw again.
If you can convert it.
So Shiokara takes out the first match in this 3 out of 5 set. Yeah, interesting. Like really pushing hard to take just come out of the gates blasting with super dashing elbows and putting Maido on the defensive. And those are the rounds that he won. And then likewise, first hit Maido, even though it was very close, managed to actually pull through and win a couple of rounds, very close at the end there. So, yeah, very tight match. We'll see if Maido can turn this around as we go into the second match. And I don't think we've seen stage changes yet, have we?
But that might be what's happening now. That could be the reason for the delay here.
Yeah, I think so.
Looking at like Maido having to think about what stage to change to. Interesting. It's always difficult on a small stage like that. So potentially a lot of the Japanese high-level players like City, and we've seen a lot of that today, where they select City as their preferred stage. So we'll see what Maido's preference is here. I'd be very curious, but just a game of such fine margins, it's really difficult to see if there's anything like consistent that Maido could be doing that differently to win. I'm not so sure. Just really so close.
And I think we saw a bit of that experimentation. Like we saw movement into the middle distance. We saw a couple of moves that Pi's got where she can actually cancel and change the effect, where she can leap forward and then do nothing, or she can hop and then do nothing. And Maido was showing that to Shiokara to say, look, I'm willing to kind of do anything. I'm going to test you and see how you react. And Shiokara wasn't really drawn in. But it's interesting to see the experimentation. So,
yeah, I mean, like, that's the beauty of this Virtua Fighter Open Championship. It's just so exciting to see these high-level pros in an English-speaking environment as well. It's really unusual to watch Japanese high-level players with English commentary. So follow along. Make sure that you do follow along this series as we progress through this Oceania qualifier, or the APAC qualifier, as well as the EU qualifier coming next month.
A nice little box step into the 9K gets Maido the first exchange of the round, and now we're really just spacing out so much. I mean, it's hard to know what the intention is at that distance, but just really waiting for the opponent to start doing something.
Nice debate on the guard break there. Nice forward throw.
Look at that box
3K looking for the backdash. Nice sweep. Okay, Maido is come out with a bit of a vengeance here, so really a series of strong reads to take the match away there from Shiokara.
Nice evade, and then a reversal. And we're going to do, that nice new combo, which is, again, same damage as the alternative, but it moves the character further to the wall. Okay, nice good throw. Recognition from Shiokara, immediately throwing that sidestep attempt. Ooh.
Huge call out. Major damage.
It was a counter hit at the last moment. Like, Maido pressed a button just too late.
Oh. Really bet it all on that 3KP.
Yeah, a little bit delayed. I think they were hoping that Shiokara would press a button earlier, but very disciplined play.
Yep.
Nice.
4-6K plus G to build advantage. Nice back throw. Pi's most damaging throw there.
Yep, 65 damage from the reverse throw. Nice dark. And look at the movement.
Heartbreak. Yeah, look at the fuzzies. Oh. Yeah, the E crouch dash or ECD on full display here. Nice forward
Nicely
tech.
escaped. Good attempt to launch straight out of that. But Shiokara so disciplined, just holding his nerve under that pressure there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Maido knows the matchup. He's trying to use the parry stance that Pai is doing, that circular walking, in order to beat Akira's single limb moves, but Shiokara just ready for it.
Yeah, he's not being drawn out and throwing out punches at the wrong time.
Excellent neutral KO Bare there.
Yes, that was sweet.
Forward throw, even on life.
Interesting, just a little bit of hesitation on hit. Oh, that's hard to deal with. A lot of advantage after that double palm.
Yeah, that's quarter circle back punch, and that's +4. So from that, you can... What was so smart about that is that if you're really strong, what you should be doing is doing a crouch dash fuzzy guard to beat the mid or the throw, and Shiokara used the low, which is a fuzzy guard defeat technique. So really intelligent play in that last sequence.
And yeah, so as it turns out, after really good play round to round, Shiokara is looking dominant. Nice, love that. That's a new technique for Pai and Revo.
6 XP interrupt of the Boktai stance, amazing. Huge combo, this might be it.
Take advantage of the stun. 1-2, not quite. Oh, the down punch finishes the job. And Shiokara is saying, I'm coming for this win. Super dashing elbow to start again. Guard break attempt.
Great tech.
Oh, well read. I mean, he did not want to be pushed back towards the wall. But returns. Yeah, that back throw has been really effective, and Maido's got to really think about teching that away.
Yeah, I'm really loving the 6 XP not into K, so really aware of the string and looking to hit confirm it. But that was a very dominant round from Shiokara. As you say, not a single back throw tech so far. So a match round for Shiokara. Let's see if Maido can bring it back.
Oh, a nice attempt there. Semi-safe on the 6P plus K sequence. And then 1P for launcher evaded. And Shiokara does another back throw into combo. This has been the death of Maido so far. Oh, I like that. Oh, look at that!
Amazing.
Oh, a little unlucky because it was off axis.
That's it.
And then Shiokara... Oh, man. That was such a bold attempt. Look at that crouch dash in the middle of the round from Maido. And the angle was just not quite right to get a full wall splat.
So good.
Man, unlucky at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the boldness of the play to crouch dash to the other wall. I mean, to dash up to the other wall and forward throw your opponent. I mean, it's seriously like confident and bold, but just so careful there from Shiokara. And exactly as you highlighted, just no text on the back throw. The back throw doing so much work there.
Yeah,
that's what they call the
surprising to see at this level. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm still a little bit stunned by that challenge in the middle of that last round to turn things around and then just rush the opponent through dashing to the wall and then succeed at getting the forward throw because there's been so much recognition and awareness on behalf of all the players at this level of, okay, my back's to the wall now, I don't want to get forward thrown, but he succeeded, he got the forward throw, and that's where a little bit of bad luck came in because on these stages, sometimes you want to get a direct wall hit, not a slightly angled wall hit, because he fell out of the following combo. It was so unlucky for Maido. That was the one chance left, and Shiokara, no slouch, got up and finished the job.
Unbelievable. You love to see that such boldness. Sometimes when two people play a lot, you can see that style in how they play with one another because they just know each other's habits so well. Exactly that Pai with the classic Virtua Fighter 2 pink, I loved how the hat would come off in Virtua Fighter 2 as you were fighting Pai.
That's right. And we've got a new match coming up, which is another exciting one. We've got losers round 1, which is going to be Osag versus Babukichi, and this is our first rematch of the tournament. We actually saw these guys play earlier. What were your thoughts on the previous match?
Well, look, I thought it was a very close match. Babukichi obviously didn't land those guard breaks, which were key, I think, for the damage that he needed to be successful. So I'm curious to see if there's been a little bit extra practice, a little bit of warm-up time here to land the guard breaks. But other than that, it was a very close match. Osag very aggressive using the stance. I think it's slip, which is the forward-moving stance that Brad has, to go underneath highs. So I think there was a period of time that he did 6 slips in a row against the edge of the ring. So I'm not sure if Babukichi should be accepting that. Should be trying to challenge or disrespect him a little bit more.
I mean, that's part of the mind games. You've got to set your opponent up to want to block or react to what you're doing, and that gives you space to play around a little bit more. Here we have Osag
right into it looks like.
Pressing in. And Babukichi, nice fuzzy. Trying to take his turn back and getting the super dashing elbow.
What?
Nice combo.
Out, you know? When standing sweeps of that nature that don't knock you down tend to be frame negative.
Oh, get out of my ring!
Launch, exactly. That's guard break with the new easy input to down 4-6p. Gives you the double palm for the ring out there.
Nice call out on thread. Alright, so Osag starts out well and manages to take half-life.
Great.
Now it's Babukichi's turn.
6p. What a large amount of damage on that 6.
Let's do it again. He was holding Osag accountable, just saying, look, I'm going to keep you held down with mids, and Osag said, I don't care.
Well, yeah, Osag is just showing that a real willingness to sway under throw and high, and Babukichi is trying to challenge it, but eventually, perfect, he nailed it. So he didn't nail a single one of those last time they played. And this time, amazing.
And look at the pressure. Just not being dissuaded by the dodges or the slight, like, he's not getting the guard breaks, he's getting the fuzzy hits, and he just kept moving in.
You want to know what's so interesting about that? I think that Osag is reacting to the guard break and releasing guard on purpose. Because when you get hit by the guard break, it's your frame positive. So just really exceptional awareness there to not get guard broken against the edge of the ring and get knocked out.
All the same, Babukichi is actually at advantage on rounds. So Osag is having to come back now. Nice side throw, punish with the knee. That's what we want to see.
One frame knee from crouch, really difficult input. What a mid!
Nice work there.
Where was it?
Ooh, that throw escape could be everything for Babukichi right now, but it's Osag who's just going to bully him. He's not afraid to just put the mids on screen. I think a little bit of technical play there by Babukichi, but a little too cute.
That was a nervous drop by Babukichi. He blocked 6PK on the side, and he didn't. It's about -16 from the front, so he had time to just do a jab, but he didn't adjust. And now look at this, tilted.
Yeah, Osag said, "Look, I've broken you mentally, and I'm just going to attack." He's gone in, and that's kind of the story of their match earlier, where it looked like Babukichi was making headway, and in the middle of the rounds, or round to round, actually making some really good progress. Kind of a conventional looking Akira, but you could see the technique is really strong, and Babukichi and Osag is actually just going for the jugular just a little bit more and making more of it.
Yeah, I just really, that 6PK drop, that was the match-winning intervention. All it needed was a PK punish, but he did PK and he guard cancelled the K into a throw. So he must not have understood that the life deficit was so large and that the PK would have won. But let's see if he can recover himself for this next set.
Goes for the low again at the start of the round. That's an interesting choice. I mean, especially since Akira is so strong at mids. Oh, and he goes for the super dashing elbow, but he waited just a touch before he committed, and he was punished by that low once again by Osag. Look at that back step.
Babukichi can recover.
That was an interesting one by Osag. He'd managed to. That's a little bit of a mental free choice. Like he stopped himself because he stepped back at the start of the round after being so successful taking the initiative. Ooh, and here it is. That's the round back.
So there's now in Revo the old Virtua Fighter 5 or 4 move has returned. So there's now a second sway. You can do sway into sway, and it's a second stance with a guard break or a mid. So he's really expecting the guard break, and he's trying to crouch that guard break and getting hit by the mid there. Lovely
nice
launch.
recognition. Babukichi knew that he had his turn and he took it. Beautifully done.
Break.
Oh,
big mid,
good
nice
patience.
punish.
Unfortunate that the throw was broken. Not much from the side attack. But Osag just fighting through every time, and the special high destroys the sidestep. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, he just caught him evading the right way. You know, knew which way he
low
went ahead.
again.
What a conversion! Oh, didn't miss the conversion. Okay, caught him crouching. Might be it.
Wow, okay. Letting him out of jail, but that's pretty reasonable. You don't want to have the risk of being back thrown or having the situation turn around on you.
Great tech.
Oh, that delayed string, beautifully done. So Babukichi's got to be shaking his head because he's definitely had his chances, especially in the middle round of that match. I think because Osag actually psyched himself out of playing his way for a moment. Osag was actually doing something a little bit different. Like he built steam, as we've seen, but during that middle match, he was actually attacking, starting with a low and then just steamrolling. But there was a moment where he stepped back and was getting hit, and Babukichi didn't capitalize. Nice.
Great throw tech. So
good patience.
Babukichi's being really intelligent here, trying to catch Osag evading, but Osag just so disciplined with his evade dash cancel that even if he's getting caught the right way, he's still recovering in time to guard. So it's just
and the
really
throw escapes
difficult.
have been just on point. So as a result, Babukichi hasn't actually been able to break through, and Osag at the clinch once again says, "I'll just take initiative. You're going to come up to me? I've got something for you."
Yeah, that was a guaranteed. After the first hit, that string is all guaranteed, I think. Tried the 660 speed there. What a read! Just a launch, raw launch after a 2P.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of Osag just putting in the work to put enough options on the screen at the right times. Babukichi having to work a lot more to break through at the moment.
Mid underneath a double sway. Punish that. Yep.
Oh, beautiful.
Great punish. Very well recognized. What an evade.
Oh, you got to feel for him there because it was just a sliver away, and you think, well, look, there's just that one more hit, and what's it going to be? And the read's going to be a low, so the evade on the low got punished. Look, Osag is just so disciplined.
Yeah, tried it again there with the mid from the double sway, but great evade there by Babukichi.
He cancel poke into something else from both players, and it goes Osag's way again. Oh, let's have 3 elbows. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I love to deliver an elbow.
Yeah, that's right. Short mid, then a safe mid, then another safe mid. Just caught him challenging every single time.
Osag just says, "Look, I know you're Akira. I know you want to do elbows, but I've got 3 to give you, and your face can take all of them, and you can go home. That's loser's bracket. You're out of here." That was an amazing clutch effort all the way through. Osag, who you called out as a top player earlier, and we saw interestingly, the match in which he was defeated. Who beat them? I've got to look back at the bracket there.
Osag was defeated by Kashin, I thought.
Was it Kashin?
Takahashi. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's an interesting one to see. There were some moments where Akira was able to break through, but never really did quite enough damage and then set up for the next attack, whereas Osag always had the next step in the game plan.
Look, I really think, I'm sorry to say, but I think that was a bit of a loss of mental composure there by Babukichi. You can see that last interaction that he got counter hit 3 times, trying to 2P, like a desperation 2P at the very end, to try to steal back his turn, and really well recognized by Osag, right, to just continuously put the safe mid out there, expecting the Abare, or expecting some button to be pressed or a crouch, right? So
you could see the hesitancy start to creep in, and Osag, it's like smelling blood in the water. He went more aggressive.
Definitely true. Osag is a player who's exceptionally aggressive, and if you show him that you are intimidated, as you can see, the sways and the strings of Brad, and especially if you're not familiar with the matchup, there are not that many Brads in Japan. He's not that, although he's very popular in the West, he's actually not all that popular a character in Japan. So there are maybe 2 to 3 very high level Brads in Japan, and there's not really a big contingent of Brads at the low level or mid level. So it can
so a bit of that natural understanding of the matchup, whereas there will be high level understanding, and we have seen great players like Virgo switch from John to Brad to win the Japan offline qualifier, which was one for the books. So yeah, that's an interesting play to see Brad upsetting Bakugan so much. I think it was a matter of momentum. You've got to contain him. You can't give him that much space.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. To defeat a player like Osag, I think it takes a lot of discipline and patience. You cannot challenge in that way where, carelessly. You really have to play. It's very stressful to play like this, but you have to play decision by decision, very present the whole time, and not be demoralized when he does something that is pretty much psychic. Right? You just have to accept that, okay, this guy is experienced. Doesn't matter. We get him on the next one, and just keep moving on.
That's true, and it's funny. It's one of those things that this game. We were playing on the weekend, and I was telling you one of my matches that I got knocked into losers by a player from our scene, HSY, who went on to win the tournament, and I'm pleased enough that I challenged him quite well in a later match in the losers run. But in that first match, he was so dominant that it made me feel like I forgot to play the game. I've lost all touch with how to play. I don't think that was the case in that last match, but it's the kind of thing that the pressure can cause when a player becomes dominant and they actually are feeling that they've got the run of the match.
And as you say, sometimes this game is very mental, because it's a player-based decision and reads-heavy game rather than a system mechanics-based, you have to hold this mix-up game. You can become very intimidated when you're playing a top player. So sometimes that's a factor too, that you go, oh wow, this Osag, he's famous, he's really good. He's been playing a long time. And you sort of become intimidated a little bit to go, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't do that.
This is just a button check, so we can continue to comment through this. We love these, as we've been saying, the Japanese button checks, they're all, we've got a stage change immediately.
Yeah, these, high-level button checks.
Yeah, the high-level button checks. And the honourable arcade style round finish to reset and go back to lobby rather than just use the menu. Yeah, so that's good. And we've got our opponents here, just so people know. Shiro, who we saw earlier, is Jackie, and Gorgonzola, one of our favourites, doing really well, getting into the top 8 this time in the lower bracket side with Lau. So we'll see if the chef can cook up a nice pizza for us this time.
That's right, a little bit of blue cheese or whatever for us to eat. Look, I'm intimidated already. If I look at the button checks from Shiro, consistently landing Iaigeri or flash sword kick, the 3-frame just frame every single time, from running, from crouching, from whatever. If I'm watching this, I'm going, okay, this person is serious. They really know how to play this game.
We're just moving out of the ring, and we'll see a stage change on random select. So for our first match.
Yeah, strange one. I wonder why they would do the button checks on a specific stage, but maybe because it's big.
Yeah, it's it was specific, wasn't it? It's I thought it came up on random as well.
Oh, was it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a stage reset. Okay, so here we go into the real match. Shiro versus a Gorgonzola.
That's right. Aiga tarinaize. Love is not enough. That's mad.
Round one.
I don't know why that's so... Yeah, I'm not sure what... It must be a song reference. Great 6PP to start with. Nice forward throw. What an evade.
Good. Yeah, excellent evade on the low sweep. It's a one-way sidestep.
Yeah, 2K plus G. Lao doesn't have a lot of low full circulars, only from stance, I believe. Or maybe
attempt to throw, but it was safe. And it's punished, so Gorgonzola suffering from that attempt there.
Yeah, what was the thing? I don't know if that 2P was blocked. I think it was a successful 2P, and he tried a throw after the successful 2P. So that Iaigiri was the correct choice.
Well, they were exchanging, the classic elbow throw sequence in neutral, and maybe just got into the flow.
That was a very unusual thing you just saw. Did you notice, Berserk, that they traded in Virtua Fighter? Because
very rare.
It's the larger damage move wins. You have to do the exact same damage of move at the exact same time to get a genuine trade. So really unusual to see.
Nice work there by Shiro to get the side turn hit, but go into the throw. Just reading the opponent. Here we go.
Huge, that's it.
Combo.
Yeah. So that was a very big beat knuckle underneath what looks like the guard break. So crouching the guard break attempt and using the beat knuckle P plus K into P to a combo, and using the Iaigiri as well for maximum damage. So great showing by Shiro there. I think these guys play regularly.
Yeah, so we've seen Gorgonzola in this situation before where he has to take a few hits and get a read on what the opponent's doing, and he does then climb the mountain a fair bit. Obviously, he's made it through to top 8, but against a Jackie of this caliber, it's pretty dangerous to be on the back foot. So we'll see if he gets to impose his will on the match. Oh, here we go. A character change.
That's interesting.
So that's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So just as I was saying that he didn't quite get the chance to sort of, at the neutral exchanges, make the most of his limited opportunities. Maybe he's recognized that and feeling that Brad's going to do more for him in that situation against Jackie.
Yeah, I have never seen Gorgonzola play Brad, so I'm very much looking forward to this. Okay,
nice
throw attempt.
Just the that is rough. Obviously unblockable once you block the high there.
Yeah, only in certain stances apparently. I think it's only in close stance that works, but great stance awareness there from Shiro and great conversion afterwards. Look at this huge combo.
And you see that double movement from Gorgonzola, risking a little bit, but it paid off for him as he just wanted to put the wall pressure on Shiro. And he gets around back.
Open purple shirt, Brad ready to party here in the city. Oh, try to high
nice
launch
duck. Well blocked.
Finish that. What a conversion. No! That's so heartbreaking. Oh, big knee. I felt it all the way here in Australia, from 10,000 kilometers away.
Yeah, that was a great mid-round attempt from Gorgonzola. So we've seen some good signs there. He's one round apiece. Looking for a mid kick to Sabaki there.
Just trying that 6P. Oh, big conversion here.
Oh, the sway to just continue the string and realign.
That's it.
Oh, the side turn hit.
Yep.
That is harsh.
Oh man, Jackie's so lucky with that move. So that his
just caught his feet.
Sweep can give you a side wall stun. So side wall stun sweep is a very powerful tool. One in the Iaigiri, well converted. You have exactly 16 frames to do that, and he hit it frame perfect. Ooh, don't evade.
Yeah, so Shiro's just throwing out what looks like some pretty wild choices, but they're all based on pressuring the opponent and forcing them into a situation where they feel they have to make that move.
I think you, as you identified there, it's so the evade was really catching Gorgonzola out. So a lot of successful sweeps there, and then against that wall, Gorgonzola desperately trying to get out of there, right? So getting counter hit by a sweep and saying yoroshiku onegaishimasu, I guess. Nice to meet you. That saying that I'm ready now with Lau, so I'm ready to play.
Back to Lau, so back to comfort. I think that's the right choice.
Yeah, a little bit of a foray in the Brad, trying to test the matchup knowledge, I guess, but at the high level, they've got some pretty decent knowledge.
Looking for the quick wake up. All right, so Shiro actually hesitating. Oh, nicely blocked. I wonder if he could have got more out of that low block, but it's enough to play the neutral well and take his opportunities. So Gorgonzola, like he did last round, he took the first round of the set of the match.
Okay, side turn. That evade side turn, so that elbow was guaranteed.
Good realign.
What a crouch. Oof, a little bit of a gap in the play there.
Just working 2P, elbow, and now...
Yeah, that might be it. Oh, missed the combo.
It was an odd height adjustment there.
Yeah.
Oh no! Huge. I mean, I said earlier, sometimes you got to finish your strings, but not this time.
Yeah, not this time. Or maybe finish with the mid option rather than the low option.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of poking and half strings cancelled and changed.
Wow. Yep. Recognizing that Gorgonzola is finishing the 6PP regularly, he crouched the second hit and did a beat knuckle underneath.
Nice use of the side turn throw. Just keeping Shiro in check a little bit, but those 3 low pokes.
Oh, that's it. That's very
insane.
Safe combo route. Yeah, that was a very safe combo route from Shiro, so recognizing the nerves that leading to dropped combos, didn't try the Aigiri, just went for safe damage to win.
So Shiro now at match point after Gorgonzola showed, again, just good signs, but not finishing through.
Just adapting too quick is Shiro, got a really good sense of his offense. Ooh. That might be it. Oh, last hit.
Now's the chance. Oh,
huge launcher.
That was actually a second win at neutral. One more chance.
Underneath the high. Oh, wow.
Gorgonzola stays alive. That was interesting. I mean, it wasn't the biggest punish on that low block, but it still built that round.
That was so... huge
there you have
punish.
It. That's what you want to see.
Rising K.
Oh, he went a little too strong on the follow-up.
That's it. Got wall combo. Gorgonzola being a bit too gung-ho at the wall, and Shiro just taking advantage, evading to the back. Huge. That's it.
That's it. That's bad luck to Gorgonzola. I think he put himself into a position to get punished, unfortunately. Like, he made some big plays, and then he went back to neutral, and then he went big again. And he went big at a time when he'd just been punishing the opponent. He'd won a couple of exchanges and got big damage, but he had to be thinking, I'm just going to keep going, whereas what he needed to do was pull back a little bit and check him again. So Shiro, so disciplined.
Like, that was such a good comeback from Gorgonzola to change back to Lau and put himself back into contention, but just that tiny little bit of carelessness at the very end. What it looked like was after the 6P, he did a delayed second hit of it to get 6PP, but he delayed it so much that Shiro evaded and did the eye poke, and then of course from there he did 6PK, and then the wall hit is guaranteed, and that's all Shiro really. You can get like 100 damage almost from there, but a really great play from Gorgonzola to turn it around that last match. And such a shame that at that critical moment, the loss of composure can lead to the whole match going downhill.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like there was a rush of blood. He just needed to keep it cool just a little bit longer. But well done to Shiro. He stays alive in the lower bracket. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll see you back again here shortly for some more VF Online.
Perfect. See you then.
Peggy 12. Peggy 18.
Ready, go!
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
The Pack.
Returning to the ring, a legend in his own right, a man who once dominated wrestling, who redefined what it means to be a fighter, and what dark design of fate has led him to face tonight, the very team that spelled an end to his glory days, that led to his controversial retirement that shocked the world. Free from his pack tonight, he's hunting solo. The force of pain you can contain. Wolf Hockfield!
And welcome back, everyone. We're here again for the Virtua Fighter Open Championship, APAC. It's Qualifier 2. I'm here with Toto. How have you been liking the matches so far?
I'm getting sweaty watching these matches. I'm not even playing, and I'm getting sweaty watching the close rounds and the close matches here. And I think I can imagine these players at home are sipping water and getting really sweaty trying to keep it cool in the Northern Hemisphere summer.
So let's have a look at the winners final. So next we're going to go to losers quarters, but we're looking at the bracket. We've seen some amazing matches. We're going to go with Densetsu versus Osag, who've been two favourites throughout. And it'll be an interesting match coming next, and they will face off against Shiro, who we just saw win through earlier, or his opponent. Who have we got there? That's Shiokara, I think. No,
so
is it Maido?
Yeah, so Maido.
Oh yes, Maido came down from winners. That's right.
Yes, so Maido and Shiro are playing in the other match in losers, but we've got Densetsu SP Osag, which is what I would say is the game Newton special. So these guys play all the time, and when it's a real treat in Virtua Fighter actually when people play all the time to watch them play, because they do some crazy stuff that you just wouldn't expect, and it's because they're playing their friend, right? So the classic friend matchup being Irizan versus Fudo from the Virtua Fighter 4 days. You know, these two guys, like the student overcoming the master, right? Fudo overcoming Irizan's after many years of training.
And that one's worse because it's a mirror match.
That's right, and they were both playing the same character as well. They were both playing Shun. But yeah, we've got Brad versus Jean here. These guys play all the time, often in the top 4 or top 8 of the team tournament at Game Newton. They play, I think, long sets together often. They must see each other online all the time. So this is really where you see the highest of the high level, right? Both the player matchup knowledge and the character matchup knowledge. So I'm really looking forward to this match.
And the story of this tournament has been interesting again. It kind of mirrors what happened last week for Densetsu, who was imposing a really strong game plan over all of his opponents and made it all the way through to winners semi and was knocked down and we're looking at that again this week. So the story ended around here last time for Densetsu. This time we've got Osag with Brad, who actually seems to be running with a bit of momentum at the moment, as we saw from the last match. Like, starting to get heated up, I think.
Right, so these guys are warming up, you know, they have probably been warming up a little bit in the morning, but the tournament nerves have a warm-up time of their own as well. You know, after you get that initial adrenaline spike as you first start, you can settle in, and actually the nerves can be helpful for you. They can be helpful to just keep you dialed in to exactly that level that you need to be dialed into. So are these guys going straight in, it looks like, or are they having a button check? We'll see in a moment. It looks like that they're going straight in. I know that Osag has gone straight into all of his previous matches.
Round 1. Ready, go!
Here we go.
Blue versus red. Here we go.
That's right, the battle of the primary colors, I guess.
Oh, nice switch to the circular there by Densetsu. And I think he's noticed that Osag is a momentum player and he needs to actually impose himself. He's not waiting to see what's going on. And he's done a lot of damage to start with.
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Osag turning it around. So we've seen this a few times from both of these players, but particularly from Osag. He'll take a few hits and then he'll just go into rage mode, it seems.
That's right. Rage mode is probably about right. Lovely guard.
There's the gun break.
Yep, that 50-50 is not a true 50-50 because, of course, it's Virtua Fighter. There's lots of options. Huge conversion on that sweep. Oh,
nice evade. Oh, and a wall stun of his own. And he did a string then stop and a string then stop. That was really interesting because that was the moment where you would do your charge.
That was great respect. So really respecting Osaga's ability to shake out of the stagger and using PPP, and then Abarian with another PPP after the first PPP. Huge counter hit. Oh,
special play, so deadly.
Knockout. Oh, the Brad special.
I thought there might have been that one more hit. 2P will finish the job.
Yeah, I think he lost confidence because I did think that there was time for another hit there, but just wanted to make sure that he wouldn't be punished. What a launch! what was happening?
Yeah,
there?
just go for it. I mean, we've seen that a little bit. And there's the side hit. And Osage's really taken it to Densetsu in this first match. There was just that one moment, that one round that Densetsu took. I mean, I think he had the right instinct. You got to take it to him and keep him down. But Osage resisted. He just broke free like a wild animal, and suddenly it's Densetsu, one match down in this 3 out of 5 set.
Yeah, that's anyway. That happens like a blur, right?
Yeah.
But you can see that Osage really favored by the cage stage, the small octagon. So using Brad's standing sweep, getting a lot of incidental hits, which are leading to the 15-frame launcher, the standing launcher.
But you know, Sean has that too. Like it's this is all down to the player, I think. In this instance, it's just a little bit more aggression from Osage. Although he swayed back at the start of that round, he's letting Densetsu in. This is what Densetsu needs.
Great punish there. Nice throw tech.
Oh, there you go.
Reading the throw.
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times, and yeah, it's measured aggression from Densetsu, and when he does it, it's like there's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Locked in, you feel that you're trapped, you're suffocated by the pressure. Nice low, but didn't hit confirm it.
Okay, that was interesting. Elbow into evade. Just really reading Osage's desire to come back at him with another strike. And
nice low there.
Yeah, he's setting up a wall, and Osage wasn't able to break through that time. Looking good so far.
It's looking like a reverse of the previous match. Great throw tech.
Okay, so Osage using pokes this time, not just swinging. He's built his round out of the poke, and he's got it.
Okay, an excellent round to come back. So great awareness there to use a full circular high. Yeah, to catch Jean evading. What a parry.
That is just really solid player awareness. He knew that Osage wanted to keep attacking, and he had the moment to do the sparking.
Alright, I thought he might be
nearly
dead.
there.
Okay, just a punch.
One more jab. One more jab will do it. So Densetsu, he hasn't been rattled, which is good to see. So Osage, just a wild first match. It was pretty much utter destruction after that first round. But Densetsu is settled. He's managed to draw out the lines of where he needs to control the match. So now it's... I think Osaga's got the difficulty here, because if Densetsu has the measure of him, he's going to have to change things up.
Yeah, the stage is a helpful one. So City is his preferred stage. That would be helpful for him, I think. And from here, I just think that he needs to maybe just play a little bit more of the player match, so a little bit less aggression, I guess.
Yeah, and we've seen him wait. He just waited out at neutral at the start there. And Densetsu's still conscious of the aggression because he backed off as well.
That's
and now Osage's got the opening. Okay, both players just waiting it out, and Osage, again, I think you were right. It's there's an adjustment. He's checked his own aggression.
So he sort of calmed down a little bit. Oh, nice. Got hit by the guard break rather than... That was guaranteed. Q2P. Oh, looking for the side kick. Nice evade.
Nice poke and counter poke. A lot of fuzzying. Finally broken through. Osage takes back a bit of damage.
Oh, just let it rip. If he had blocked that second hit, it would have been dead. And this is it. Guaranteed down attack.
One more hit, down attack. There you have it.
Yeah, the down attack is guaranteed after that forward throw, so just a little kick to the body there.
And it's like, ooh. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, kick a man when he's down.
Yeah, nice. There's not much punishment on that roll. It looks like an attack that you should really be able to do a lot, but he just got the side attack, but the throw capitalizes. And we're on side attack.
Whoa.
And the turnaround, Are we going to see another change from Densetsu? Because it's been dominant in in either direction, each of the matches that we've had so far.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a great adjustment by Osag there. He measured his offense a little bit better in the open situation. Of course, pressing the advantage near the wall. You saw that last interaction that won him the match. His normal jab got him a side wall stun. So you did a jab, side wall stun, and then the whole string was guaranteed afterwards, and then the sweep, it's a really hard read to block it. And if you've got a massive life advantage, then why not, right? Even if they knee you, you still got another 2/3 of your life bar left to go. So you take.
And it was good recognition, because if you're just poking, sometimes you're not really expecting to be able to capitalize. But yeah, he played that through really strong.
That's a great point. I only recognised it was a side wall stun on the replay. I didn't have to see it in the match, but credit to Osag, he did.
Oh, that is so smart.
Forward.
Yeah,
clinch.
he didn't go for a strike. He stepped into clinch.
Oh, hit confirm. That's it.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe it was a duck to evade like a wake up ducking to evade a throw, and Osage mid-punch aggression.
Look at that respect. So he was very unsafe after that knee, but because of the follow-up, Densetsu waited and then got hit by the sweep.
Yeah, and look at that wait. He ran up at neutral, didn't throw attempt, and he's setting up a strike game now. So I think Densetsu's starting to balance things out.
Caught him there, so he's been so used to Osage doing the knee from that slip forward that he did the fastest option from slip and it caught him. Look at this match round. Osage really composed himself, But again, these guys play regularly, so.
And it wasn't bad by Densetsu. Like he stepped, he jabbed, the throw attempt, but it was well read.
Great
solid movement.
Catch there. Finally, a guard break.
Well done once again. Densetsu actually playing confidently this round. His movement is setting him up to actually attack with the requisite advantage that he needs, but Osage breaking through. Okay, we're poking. We're looking for one more hit for Densetsu. And there it is.
Nice 2P. Playing a lot more composed that time, so still pressing the advantage, but only at key times and only for smaller disadvantages.
You see that? Oh, nice fuzzy. That step back from Densetsu. He just doesn't want to be in...
Punish.
He needs to attack on his own terms. Oh, side...
Guaranteed. All of that's guaranteed after that side kick.
Got the wake-up kick. Okay, didn't want to follow up. Ooh, there's that beautiful Sabaki once again.
Oh, missed it.
Well escaped. And there's your
What
chop.
a 1P. Oh.
Okay. So it's a chance now for Densetsu to level the match count. What are we doing at the start? Just waiting. That's pretty solid.
All right, the caution's increased here. Osage has actually become more hesitant, which potentially
he went for a high after that low block. Ooh, hop into low. Okay, you see how he's still poking even when he's getting these hits.
Nice evade there.
Nicely blocked again.
Oh, waited for the charge to finish, but no capitalization. Oh, what a guard break.
Oh, he stopped!
Oh, punish. Okay, wow. That was huge. So a dropped guard break, which he's never done really, but he held his nerve. 6PK, very punishable from Brad there, but just held his nerve to block the K and did a very safe punish PK, didn't try anything fancy.
Yeah, and I think you had the right word there, composure. And he's found it, he's held it, and now we're at 2 matches apiece. Interesting to see what Osagi does. Again, the maybe just for a confidence thing, we'll see if we change stage or not. Here we go.
I think it's going back to City. That's my guess.
Yep. Yeah,
Wow.
so in terms of space, it's not that different to where we just were, but it's probably just where it feels comfortable. And there's a better wall.
Yep, so the wall is continuous. You can't be ringed out. Also, I feel like because it is bigger, the corner in City is more acute. so you can get more sidewall stuns. I think that's why the pros prefer it. But here it is, final match of this losers quarters final. Really exciting. Who's going to take it? It's neck and neck.
Oh, he should have just finished it without the charge.
Oh, caught
And
it
there's
crouching.
a first round to Osag pretty quick. That start of the round was fascinating. I mean, Densetsu double offensive moving? That was crazy.
When people play a lot, they do stuff that we don't even know what it is, but they recognize something in each other's play. What a cancel on the charge up move there! What a punish!
He does that quite characteristically near the wall on side attempt. Last chance
Big
now
barrier.
for Osag.
Oh,
He got the side hit himself, but Densetsu has enough life advantage to recover and poke his way out of that. Nice one.
one round apiece. It's tense. Look at that! Look at that evade of the low.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, huge conversion.
Incredible.
Against the wall crumple. Yep.
Okay,
Side
that
wall
was
stun.
such a genius use. He's finishing that in order to get up slightly late and force the opponent into a situation that's a little bit of a guess. He went for the low chop, got the side hit.
Sidewall stun, so brutal in this game. What an EDC. Oh, nice jabbed out of the charge from what's the Okazeme?
Ooh, beat the low wake up attack.
Oh,
Densetsu
recognizing-
trying to poke his way through, but Osag saying, no, I've got some oppressive strings as well. Here we go.
Yeah, so he noticed that Osaka briefly lost his composure and he started challenging him, but Osaka managed to recover. Clinch. Teched. Punch elbow, real basic Virtua Fighter. What a throw.
Oh,
what
he
a
stayed
difference.
ducking
That's it.
too long.
That's it. No.
Osag says, I am not concerned with your tricky movement. I'm just going to hit you with a nice mid. I know what I'm doing here. I'm Brad, and I'm all about attacking. So Osag breaks through, and that's really hard for Densetsu. You got to feel for the guy. He had the same story in this tournament as the last one. A great run into the winner's semi, defeated, and such a solid effort in the loser semi here, and just clutched out by Osag. Densetsu was showing signs. I thought he was actually going to see it through.
Isn't that just short of the top 4 as well? So he doesn't
Yeah.
actually qualify for the regional finals. Such a shame, but so well played by Densetsu SP. And really, it was a whisker. Like, he was a whisker away from winning. It was one mid hit confirm. That was the difference. And 80
Seeing some
damage.
comments in the
hit
chat.
confirm.
Maybe it's the mental conditioning, and he may have cracked a little bit there, but yeah, you got to feel for Densetsu. Such a good run and falling just short.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a fair comment. If you think about one of those rounds of that match, he did 2P counter hit, 2P counter hit again, P counter hit again. So if you were reading an attack from your opponent on those 2Ps or Ps, you would have put a knee in there and won the round, right? But, you know, when you're panicking a little bit, all you can do is just go bang, 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 bang. I'm hitting the 2P button, and you can lose your composure. And who can blame him? Like, Osag is putting on an extreme amount of pressure. He's a very exceptional player. Like, he's catching you out. So
Yeah, and I think
Those
it's one of
players
those
have a lot of
times
pressure.
where Densetsu seems to be a player who wants to control the match and condition the other player, and Osag seems to be the kind of player that refuses to be conditioned.
And that's really powerful in Virtua Fighter. You know, sometimes it's really powerful that your opponent will just continue doing the forward throw and will never stop, right? And you're taking, and then you'll stop taking forward because surely they'll not throw forward again, right? But that inability to be conditioned can sometimes be a very powerful skill.
And speaking of which, I think we see that as a trait with a lot of Jackies. We've got Shiro coming up. Our next match will be Shiro versus Maido, and this will be one that I'll be looking at closely because Maido, look, they're in losers bracket. They lost earlier. Who did they lose to? I think it was Shiokara with Taka. That's right. So we've got Pai.
One of
Here
them lost
she
to
is.
Osage. Yeah, that's Pai. Yep, where Pai is still being represented in the tournament. A Pai and a Jackie. But we've had
And this
quite
was
an
a
exciting
super
top
tight.
eight.
really space perfect Pi. Like, just only attacking from the right distance, using her evasive attacks only from the right moments. But Shiro, Jackie's very strong. Jackie can break through a lot of that stuff, and Shiro's been showing, he's very capable of deploying that power. So it's going to be a fascinating match.
Yeah, I mean, look, speaking of characters, look at this top 8, right? So, Jackie, Kage, Akira, Pai, Jean, Kage, Akira, Pai, Jackie, Lau, Brad, Akira. So there's only two Akiras, right? So there are other games where the top 8 is like 6 of the same character. And it's really impressive to see the character variety, even at the highest level, right? Although everyone has pocket characters, as you can see, so the odd person will pick up an Akira or a Taka or whatever as a pocket character. But just goes to show that Virtua Fighter has a viable cast, right, across the whole range of skills, from the highest level to, whatever level, we're at to whatever level is below us.
Yeah, so it's also one where we've not seen too many pies, so this is a great one to see. Jackie certainly has been in it, though. There was a Jackie winning last week. And here we go. Maido versus Shiro. Ooh, Maido backing off a little bit at first. Oh, I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Wow. And that was really interesting. I hadn't seen that Oki attempt before from a Pi player. Usually it's 3P. And there it is. Oh, on the wall.
So Jackie with the Dreamcast on his back, doing a big flip kick.
Pretty impressive. I mean, another situation where Shiro looked like he was on the back foot for a little while, and he just breaks out for a second, and the damage is so good. Whiff throw attempt, nice while rising punch.
Well, rising punch kick underneath that high.
Yeah.
Big punch.
Could have got a little bit more than the 9kk, but you take what you can get. And Maido. Wow. That was such a talk read. About use of space. That was a read on the whiff.
I think that might have been even a read. That string from Jackie has a high and a low. I think that might have been a read on the low portion of the string. Yeah, look at that big punish. Huge.
Yeah. Fully optimized combo. And look at that attempt for punishing the wake up.
Wow. Don't block tie in my face.
Yeah, a little too much button pressing there from Maido, but look at that. That is wonderful. We're going to see the end of Jackie for this round. Full combo.
Usual combo. Perfectly optimized.
Yeah, and there's a little bit more variety in that setup because of the way that started. But it shows again, Maido has really studied. Nice movement. And Shiro just taking 40% just from pokes.
Yeah, and finishing the string there, so, big bravery. Oh, eye poke.
Oh, shouldn't have gone for the second part of that string.
Conversion. That was a really good conversion.
Okay, one last chance here for Maido, but the simple stuff works. Mid.
That back turn, I wonder what he's looking for there.
Well, I mean, if it was blocked, it was ducked, so, he got punished, but he was looking for just a little bit of advantage on side turn.
Okay, a back
throw. Oh, look at that.
Attack. Okay, he's going for the safe war combo route because of the off axis. That was smart.
Yeah, that was amazing. Good attempt, but that's a little bit easy to read, that jumping low. Oh, yep. Shiro just destroying the double high. That's risky for Pi if a character's got a strong low, and it's kind of an instinctive low for Jackie. He will just throw that out, and going for PK, as fundamental as it is, it's just part of her vulnerability. Pi is that a lot of her attacks where she builds pressure are highs, and so Jackie poking low, easy interrupt in that instance. So Maido's changing stage. What did we get this time? That was a pretty quick change. Yeah. I think people are getting better at it. I mean, in the early days of the VFOC, I think it's really hard to navigate that particular way, but it's I think once you get used to it, it comes really quick. So it's been really nice that just to change stages in this way. Look at this. I'm really excited by this match because again, really close match.
What a recovery hit. Oh, just do it again. What a conversion. Holy.
That was huge.
Wow.
And that was pure aggression because Maido was attempting the 2P plus K into circular and Shiro was already punishing with PP. Oh, that was well done. So Maido did a launch attempt which is throwable and went straight into a launcher. Okay. And once again, Shiro just working the small moments. Get a hit there, here and there, and it's building up to rounds every time. So Maido, the technical skill is so good, but too much mucking around.
Yeah, so at the highest level, you can see that punch parry stance is very easy to recognize. What a conversion. Oh my goodness, this might be it. Yep, kick.
Oh. I think Maido's just got to go back to a bit more simplicity and start counter poking Shiro's Jackie because he's doing that. He's actually working evade into PP, evade into mid, and just working the triangle. And I understand, like you've got to take some big swings sometimes and disrupt the opponent's flow, but I think he's got to build from the basics at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. You got to build advantage. So just rather than going for the big shenanigans or the punch parries or that sort of stuff, you just need to sort of build your advantage with 2Ps. But look at that 100 damage combo. Wow.
And a bit unlucky, like he went for 1P. Just again, that's building for. Oh, how about that?
It's not that unsafe. That's the thing. I think it's a place 15.
Yeah, so that's just a rare misread of the punishable situation.
Nice back throw. Dash up back throw.
Oh, and he's gone for it again.
Final match. Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay,
that's nice to see.
Oh,
beautiful use of the Oki. Would have liked to have seen a longer combo there just to push him more to the wall, and there's a round.
Oh, that was
so nicely done.
Combo.
Yeah, it's an alternative choice. It's the same damage as 9KK, but just pushes him back a bit more. Maybe it's better Oki.
Okay, sweet there. What a evade crouch dash there. All right.
Nicely done.
Too handsy.
Yeah, and didn't finish the 4KK.
See.
Ooh.
Huge launch.
That's another string finish that's going to be regrettable for Maido, but such a good round otherwise.
So you see that hit confirmed from the side? So confirming that the elbow was a side turn counter hit, he finished the string. So 6 PP, 2K.
Okay, went for the PP instead of a low throw attempt.
What an EDC. He managed to save himself there.
Nicely done. So Maido doing a good job now of just not putting themselves out of position on their string attempts. Always a danger though, Jackie. Oh my god.
What a conversion. So
with just a little bit of life left over. So Maido's got to be a little bit disappointed there because there were a few chances. But Jackie and Shiro piloting Jackie, so solid. Every chance was capitalized on.
When you get to this level, the golfing skill can be sometimes immense. So what I saw there was a masterclass from Shiro in ring awareness. So an example is at some point there was a low sweep blocked by Shiro. He could have had a much bigger launcher, but he intentionally used 6PK because 6PK pushes your opponent towards the wall, and he converted with a full wall combo off the wall. So that's a player who knows exactly where the wall is and exactly what tools they need to use to take full advantage of the wall situation. So credit to Shiro, that was a masterclass in that kind of play. And
yeah, it's a funny thing with Jackie players. Yeah, I think Maido should be a little disappointed because I think the technical skill was there. We were so impressed with those earlier matches where there was frame perfect punishment of every opportunity, whereas just a little bit of difference in terms of the player strength maybe, or just Jackie is a harder matchup. But man, Shiro makes look again. You see this from Jackie all the time, and maybe it's looking we're normalized to it, but it was the small moments and some of the basic moves building to bigger moments that Shiro is so good at.
Yeah, definitely. Jackie, a very strong character, even though he's had some nerfs in this version, should not be slept on. Easy access to 100 damage.
Nerfs? What nerfs? Like it feels like he's just as good as ever based on that performance. But yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that just comes down to there's so many good players that have been playing Jackie for a long time, and they've made the adjustments.
Yeah, longer than some of our viewers have been alive. Actually, people have been playing
funny.
Jackie since 1992. So if you're a member of Gen Z or you're a young millennial, then some of these guys, what you're watching today, have been playing this game for longer than you've been alive.
So good. So yeah, we've got a winners final coming up. It's Oyatsuman versus Shiokara. Like we had some impressive Taka action from Shiokara earlier, and Oyatsuman was our dark horse in this tournament. We didn't see any action from Oyatsuman in last week's tournament, and out of seemingly nowhere, out of the shadows, Kage appeared and won in the semi-final versus, I think it was Densetsu. So it's going to be an interesting match. Oyatsuman really making Kage look as deadly as you would expect a ninja to be. So that's our winners final. What are your thoughts on this match coming up?
Look, I'm really curious. Who will Shiokara play, Akira or Kage? He's played both on the way here. Sorry, not Akira or Taka Arashi. He's played both characters on the way here. Both of them have been dominant in their particular matchups. So I'm very curious as to what character he'll actually use against Kage. Kage does have some decent damage against Taka Arashi, but in my experience, I think that Taka is a more difficult matchup for Kage because his tools are not all that good on Taka. He doesn't, for example, 10-foot toss is not at all the same tool, right? It just ain't there, right? So I'm very, very curious to see how Shiokara approaches this.
And it was Shiokara that knocked Maido down into lower bracket, I believe. As Akira, yeah. But earlier it was as Taka we saw. So we've seen two really strong performances with two separate characters. And it looks like it's going to be Akira here as Shiokara comes into the lobby.
Yeah, okay. So that's an interesting choice.
And it's a very high-speed Akira. That's something I noted. Quite relentless.
Yeah, look, there's something perhaps that Shiokara knows that we don't about this particular matchup. I do know that the guard break it's very helpful against Kage or a defensive player in general, so potentially needs access to all those tools. But let's see how we go
in the chat saying that Kage's new tools smoke Taka. So we've got a button check, so maybe we can discuss that. So Taka can't chop against Kage. So yeah, there's a read on that one. So Shiokara going to Akira, maybe for those reasons.
Yeah, potentially that I think Sabaki, I guess you'd call it. The chop that blows through high single limb moves. That's what Shirosha is saying in the chat. Is a weakness of Taka Arashi's or Kage matchup. But yeah, I guess there are other reasons perhaps that we're not seeing.
That's the move we're going to look out for from this particular Kage as we've seen.
That's right. Yeah.
So it looks like they are fighting.
Are we sure this is a button check? Yeah, this is looking very active for a button check.
Yeah.
Although,
No, it's it was we've been option selected. It's not a button check.
That's right. Okay, so they're right into this match, and they're one round apiece.
Round 3. Ready, go.
Let's see how they. Okay, Ipoke tried there. What a 10-foot toss. That's it. That might be it.
One, two, three. Oh, right on the edge.
Yeah, and that's the difference, right? That you cannot do that to Taka. So there must be something that Shiokara sees that we don't see that is really good for this match. But take that 10-foot toss that time.
Nice little elbow on the side turn. Keeping pressure. Oh, nice return. See that speed from Shiokara. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that's
plus
the
4 on side hit. Is that 4P? Nice 4K plus G to follow up.
that's the Shiokara. The Oyatsumi methodology is breakthrough, poke, and then
Wait,
on block hit throw.
Yeah.
Oh, but Shiokara that's the word for him, relentless. And that's how we like to see Akira using the super dashing elbow, causing it to be, a neutral pressure tool with extra power versus somebody else's mid.
Oh, okay. Tried something a bit fancy there. Did Oyatsuman, but didn't quite work out. Nice throw tech. Great throw techs again.
Ooh, how about that?
Yeah.
That is so good. I mean, that was one of the things we were commenting on versus Maido. Maido was not back teching any of those throws. Finally, we see somebody back tech, and that's what happens.
Well, yeah,
We've got a shoulder waiting for you. That's amazing.
He was trying to throw in return, but he had that Tetsuzanko already, that deep hit, as they call it. Does more damage based on the proximity to the opponent, as well as a number of other factors. So that looked likely to be almost 100 damage there. So massive game-changing move. And let's see what stage Oyatsuman selects here. Okay, picking a stage with low walls. That's interesting. So potentially doesn't like the open stage. This is probably a good idea for Kage. Kage has many ways to ring out opponents over a
low juggle.
Like over a low wall, whereas Akira doesn't necessarily. So as a Kage, you potentially get a ring out advantage in this stage. That's very good to see.
Chat is still marveling at that body check. I mean, the work it takes after that throw escape to then crouch dash fuzzy and then recover into a counter hit body check. Pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's very impressive to see. We love to see it.
All right. So here's Oyatsumi's choice of new stage. Playing a little bit slower.
There. Nice 4PK against the wall here.
Ooh, look at that duck.
What a large combo against that, but really goes to show what you can do if you see that 4K plus G coming. You can just crouch under and big problems. That might be it. Oof. Just
you look at that bold movement from Shiokara. He was not afraid one bit after he'd done so much damage to just get into Oyatsumi's face and wait to see what happens. Nice escape.
Nice 10-foot toss. Escape there. What a high crush.
Yeah, that high crush.
Yep. Oh!
Bit of a wall hit, not too much.
Oh! Didn't challenge Shippuden there.
Oh, and that's the Oyatsumi special.
That's right, yep. The 4K plus G, Oyatsuman there. Nice elbow. Tried the counter elbow there, I guess, but didn't quite work out.
Nicely ducked.
Oh, wow. Respecting Shippuden, but guessing correctly, which is really crazy. This might be it. Perfect.
So Shiokara really looking like the ascendant player here. Okay, we start this new round. PPP. You got to do it sometimes.
Oh, big guard break attempt, but evaded. A guard break of his own back. Oh, I have one of those. Tried one again, but didn't work out.
Neutral throw.
Hit.
Ooh,
nice
again.
On that 4K plus G. Jeez.
Yeah, he needs to not do that at neutral. He's most effective after poking. And then Shiokara just breaking through. And was there an evade attempt at the end there? There was.
There was, yeah. So Akira, not blessed with any full circular moves, but has some very powerful half circulars. And if you're able to effectively read your opponent, can use those half circulars very well. When I'm teaching new players, I call it the sandwich. Your half circular moves in both directions are the sandwich, and your opponent is the filling in the sandwich. So something you can use there, and Akira has a great set of half circular tools to use. 2-0 up now.
So a ticket to the grand final, the winners final, and ultimately the grand final match on the line. Nice Box step evade and super dashing air will closes the distance. Half-life gone already. Nicely done there.
Try to throw. Another 4K plus G.
Yeah, and again, it's after a poke. He's just got to set the opponent up for it.
Yeah, it's actually quite a useful tool for a very high level player, because I think what the intent is to catch a fuzzy guard. So what's happening is it's slow enough that they're crouching after the jab and they're waking up into the hit throw. So he's using it like a guard break would be used by other characters.
Beautiful side punishment there from Shiokara. And look at that crouching neutral, waiting for the wake up.
That's it. Oof.
That is
match point already.
he was watching him with intensity, and then he won the neutral again, and that's the end of the round. And he's on match point. Oh, nice work. That side turn from Kage's got a few options. Punishing the missed throw with the back throw. Ooh, we're a little bit stuck on the stream here, so...
Yep, okay, so he's tech rolling there. Some technical difficulties, everybody, but
yep.
looks like they're almost even on life now. All right, but that's
a little bit of stutter on our side for the stream, but amazing job, Shiokara.
Yeah, that's right. So Shiokara had a very dominant display, even though we didn't quite get the end of that match. But look, this is probably a good time for us to go to a break. So. We're going to have a short break after this before we go into the losers semi-final and losers final match. But Shiokara progresses into the grand final. Unfortunately for Oyatsuman, he drops down into losers, into that losers final, waiting for the winner of some of the other matches. But we'll take a short break now, and we'll be back with you shortly.
See you soon.
Peggy 12. Peggy 18.
for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Returning to the ring, a legend in his own right, a man who once dominated wrestling, who redefined what it means to be a fighter, and what dark design of fate has led him to face tonight, the very team that spelled an end to his glory days, that led to his controversial retirement that shocked the world. Free from his pack tonight, he's hunting solo. The force of pain you can contain. Wolf Hockfield.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're enjoying a fantastic tournament here for the Virtua Fighter Open Championship. This is the APEC Regional Qualifier 2. I'm here with Toto and we're looking ahead at a loser semi match with Osag and Shiro. So these two players have been pulling off some impressive wins through lower bracket, terrorizing their opponents. What are you thinking about this match here, Toto?
Look, I think Osag is on a tear. These guys, I do think they play quite often at Game Newton. Osag, I think he's generally accepted to be a stronger player, but as you can see, it is really just about the player who can exert their game plan and stay calm and under pressure. So this format is different. You know, historically we've seen Japan play in team tournaments only, where you've got a bit of time to look at how your teammates do and not necessarily be on the hook yourself. So in a long set, it can be difficult to keep concentration and your nerve. So I'm really keen to see how this goes.
You have a prediction before we start round one?
Osag, I think, if I was a betting man.
I have to say, I slightly favour Osag as well. Let's see how we go.
Yeah, but I hope that Shiro can prove us wrong. Certainly doing a good job of showing that in the first one.
Ooh, wall hit.
Yeah, was looking for a wall conversion there.
I mean, somebody's going to take the first attack. Both of these guys have shown that they're able to turn things around after the first attempt, and Osag, maybe the secret to winning this matchup is wait for the other guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice control of neutral there. Oh,
huge launch over the high, but a dropped combo. Yeah, that was a huge read. So crouched high and launched underneath. But yeah, just didn't.
You want to stick your leg out? My leg's bigger than yours.
That's right, longer. Nice low high. Hit confirmed.
Now it's Shiro's turn. Ooh, one more.
Oh, great evade.
Incredible.
So a really good use of a crouch dash fuzzy after the disadvantage from his own string and evaded really well.
Oh, look at that, recognizing that, yeah, went for the stomp because he saw the opponent was fully downed.
Oh,
relentless
attack. Yep, amazing damage, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, and the use of that special high. Did he catch a sidestep? I think he did right there.
Round 4.
So that special high, you know, catching a sidestep, and obviously it's half circular, you know, going in the direction. Great punish, 16 frames.
Good patience from Shiro. Ooh, and chase down for the throw.
crouched underneath the high of the throw. Ooh, tried to catch him
mid-circular.
Wow,
That was so
exciting
smart.
round. Very evenly matched. Very evenly matched. I'd be really keen to see how Osag adapts to that round, because that was the first time I thought that Shiro really dominated. Great neutral throw.
No big punish
throw
attempt,
up
but
to the
a
sweep.
smart low. Hold him on. Ooh, waiting it out. No throw. I guess he had the plan to go for that kick. Ooh, poking away from the sweep, but man, he's so on point with that. He will strike evade and force an opponent who plays pretty fast on counter play. So Osage is trying to attack out of his block strings as soon as he's got the opportunity, and Shiro's recognized that, and that's how he's turned this match around after a really convincing first round loss. There were a couple of moments there where he started an attack and then stopped part way, evades, and then attacks to the side because Osage is ready to attack immediately.
That was a huge win, I think, from Shiro. It's great to get the momentum and take the advantage in a set by having that first, because now the adaptation is at your speed, right? So you're setting the pace and people have to adapt to you. So that first win, I think, very key. Nice side throw though.
Yeah, and a nice measured use of movement there by Osage. He's recognized where Shiro was starting to get on top of him in the last match.
Yeah, one thing I love is Shiro's use of the Aigari. He's just so good with it. So in the last match, he did the eye poke, which was a side turn recovery hit. So you have exactly 16 frames to do the Aigari, and he hit it. No sweat. So
and nice use of fundamentals there from Osage. 2P low sweep.
Yep. So I think recognizing that Shiro can swing with him at his speed. So going, okay, well, if you can swing at my speed, maybe it's better that we slow things down.
Yeah, exactly. Watching that side, oh man, it's such a dangerous place to be for either of these characters, but in that instance, Shiro was on the initiative, and he takes the round. Bit of step hop from Shiro, of course. You got to be sure where Jackie's back is facing. Double evade, nice throw.
Try to guard break, but too slow on the punish there for Shiro.
A little bit of fuzzy waiting. Okay, let's go towards the wall. Oh, well weighted. Okay, a little too early on that low.
With a down attack.
And low kick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done there by
Tried
Osage.
to hit him on the ground. Hit a man when he's down. Look at this, he's dashing up in his place. Beautiful. Alright, so can Osage take this match on the back of that momentum?
That was great. Jab into sweep rather than jab into throw. There's the throw attempt. Punished by Shiro. He's really on point with that.
Try to clinch.
1,
Yeah.
3.
That's, I think, neutral clinch.
Oh, look at all that sway ducking. And that's a great option for Jackie. Oh, there you go. That awareness.
Yep. Up kicks.
Up.
Kick.
Oh, one left. Double evade.
Got him. Oh,
Side
still
attack.
away.
There wasn't enough of a hit in there. He didn't get quite enough stun.
Yeah, he was looking for the elbow confirmed to sway P plus K, and it just didn't quite work for him. Oh, what a crouch under that throw.
Okay.
Shiro adapting nicely to the new style of Osage. Showing him a lot of respect, not doing the follow-up.
Single sway, 2P, just controlling neutral, looking for the actual opportunity.
Yep, neutral throw, quite even on life.
Oh, that forced the whiff on wake up, and there you go. Nice, simple blow.
That's it. That's
that was
it.
So
I know
sweet.
what you're doing. 2-0, you can try your best, but doesn't matter. I still got you covered. Jumping over the prone corpse of Osage. Wow. Showing him that he means business, I think.
Back on City. Everyone's happy with this stage. This is not surprising.
2-0 up is Shiro. Let's see what Osage can do, because he almost had that. That was a very close thing. Back flinch. Back clinch very weak, so not often the preferred direction for the clinch throw. Oh, guaranteed on counter.
What an answer.
Yeah, so
just a really impressive sway and cancel the sway on wake up into just simple PK just to keep Shiro on the defensive, and he managed to maintain that all through the round. He started off well here. That same kick, just checking the opponent, forcing them back. So Osag is playing a very controlled style right now. Shiro finding the gaps.
Converted. Great block. That's it.
There it is.
If he can use the right combo. Yep. Well, that was an excellent combo.
When I said there it is, I wasn't quite sure the combo would finish, but it's all about that mid-circular. So strong.
Yeah. So that mid-circular really great, and just a great conversion from Shiro there to recognize that he's off axis.
Another whiff punish on wake up.
Dead. Yep. Again, that wall awareness that Shiro has. Look at that 6 PK. Incidental catch. No taking any risks with the restand. Doing straight for the cartwheel. Match point.
And after all that work Osag was doing to adjust, well, here we go. It's another opportunity.
Back in the blender. Huge damage with the double low bound. Punish it.
Oh. And now the turn taking is turned around. He's got to, he's done well there. So Osag actually rolled away from the wall. He was side onto the wall, and Shiro's been taking advantage of that a few times. And so Osag's last chance this round.
What a whiff punish. Doing the crouch dash into the stance underneath the high.
Ooh, nice punishment of the high. Box step away.
Again, try the conversion again, but didn't quite work this time.
That looks so good.
Huge damage conversion.
One last chance.
Last hit wins.
Oh, wow, how about that?
Pressing the button. Why was he pressing the button there? He just lost his nerve, I think. Wow. What a win by Shiro.
Showing so much capability when it comes to that wake-up situation. He's whiff punished about 3 wake-up kicks, and in that situation, he knew that there wasn't a wake-up kick coming because Osag had been punished a few times. He just rolled, waited, and then stood up and started something, and it's in that moment that he had the kick right in his face. So Shiro, so strong. Another Jackie goes through, and he stays alive. He is in the losers bracket, and we've got an exciting losers bracket run. Shiro just storming through.
Yeah, so this is in the losers bracket. We have Shiro versus Oyatsuman. So that's a Kage versus Jackie matchup. And waiting in the grand final is Shiokara, the Taka/Akira. So stacked tournament, and we know now who our players are who are going to the regional qualifier top 8. So the Shiokara, Shiro, Oyatsuman, and Osag. So they're now qualified for that top 8 regional final, which will be in 2 weeks' time, to 21st. So follow along, and
after what we've seen, any one of them could be like, despite their settings and their standings in this match, that it could, from what we've seen, the ability for each of these players to turn things around after being down is super impressive.
Yeah, I'm really impressive. And look, we got to say it on record. We were totally wrong. Well, I was wrong about Osag there. So
no, I agreed
really
with you. I said slight advantage to Osag, I thought, after the discipline he showed through his earlier matches. But Shiro's a bit of unstoppable force at this point.
Yeah, Shiro playing really well. I'm very excited to see this next match. I'm not sure how Kage and Jackie, like, as a matchup thing goes. Often, in other fighting games we talk about matchups. At Virtua Fighter, I suppose there are factors, but it doesn't really quite apply because it's so player-based, player tendency and player habit-based. Although there are certain things which, like at the very, very highest level, matchups apply, it doesn't really apply at anything other than the super highest level. But if I was to be a betting man, I think Kage has a lot of useful tools, and of course 10-foot toss is one of them, but I think Kage has the ability to beat a lot of Jackie's high combo starters with his high crushing moves. And
I was thinking about the high
got,
crushers, but Jackie's mids are still really solid,
good
and he's got the mid circular, and he's got nice mid strings, so he's not just poking with mid.
That's true. 1 P plus K as a route is a big factor. So that's the mid high or a mid, I think mid high mid. So you have that as a factor too. So that's something to think about. But I don't know. In terms of the tier list, Jackie is universally accepted to be higher tier, but I guess that's just his ability to do one touch damage, as we were talking about earlier. So how many interactions does it take to get 100 damage across the line? Kage needs a guess or a Shippujin or a 10-foot toss, something big, whereas Jackie can easily convert a stray wall hit into 100 damage. Let's see. And I think
one of the challenges for Oyatsuman is forcing Shiro to block at any point so he can play his on-hit throw game. And Shiro just starting aggressively.
Yep, so we saw it straight away there. We saw him try the jab into the 4K plus G, and Shiro was ready for it. Look at that, already blocking the sweeps. Huge.
Yeah, a nice punish. I'm slightly surprised that Oyatsuman actually finished that low, because it was a double block, and he could have stopped.
Yeah,
nice
he could have stopped after the first one, but the punish I think is pretty similar, so maybe he just tried the second one. I think maybe I'll catch him.
Yeah, you might be right.
Great throw text though from Oyatsuman here. What a block!
Oh, that's great. Out the ring you go.
That was a very disciplined performance.
And we'll see the
really
cage come down in the next round. So we'll see a different dynamic here with the wall. Ooh, he was trying to catch him with the back turn kick.
Yeah, the 4K. So
okay, a little bit of wobbling.
Evade. Yep, that was the 1 P plus K I was talking about. Mid. Oh, what a launch!
He caught him right at the end of that. Did you see how it hit right at the top?
That's right, yeah. The toes made contact with Kage's knee, maybe.
Just on the toe now.
Oh, what a conversion. Great sweep.
Well, and then into the sweep, yeah.
Another one.
I mean, that is just putting such a huge mental stack on the opponent.
That's it. Wow.
Massive.
Shiro again. And Shiro doing the mental. I love Shiro with the mental damage, jumping around, hopping at the end of the round, just trying to show him that, I got you covered. What are you going to do about it?
Putting that much pressure on landing the hit and then coming back with a mid-touch on block and straight into the sweep. It's that's hard to deal with because that was a cancel into a low, whereas you kind of expect Jackie to move forward because we were talking earlier, he does have mid-strings to pressure you with, so you can't blame Oyatsuman for standing up and blocking, waiting for that next hit to come.
Yes. I mean, it's been pretty exciting stuff to see, and Oyatsuman trying to regain the momentum there, but just not quite able to get back into the match. But again, they're looking for a low wall stage here, so this is one where Kage is favored because he has ring out potential where Jackie potentially does not. Although 6PK, can kind of ring you out at certain ranges. Nice 4K.
Nice. Yeah, very quick. Another good evade.
Evade.
We're really moving this round. Okay, no punish.
Nice block on the low. Try 3-3P. Oh, looking for a low there.
It is.
Do it again. Oh, okay, not taking the risk.
I mean, that's a hard move to sprinkle in with a player as fast as Shiro, but caught him on the low. And that gets us the round for Oyatsuman.
Round 2.
So really good work there.
What a kick cancel.
K cancel to pull him.
Yep, nice
that finish
combo there.
Oh, nice.
Oh!
Really smart.
Really being respectful. Yeah, being really respectful, not trying any Shippujin shenanigans. Just trying to let him do what he needs to do. And a strong 2 rounds from Oyatsuman. Well adapted.
Look at that patience there at the start of the round. He knows that Shiro wants to get back on the offensive. Okay, that's a bad wake-up kick. I mean, Shiro has been so strong on the with punishing. Well, there we go. Throw whiffed.
Oh.
That's another good 2P, but Shiro's got one to return with. And yeah, man, I'm just so impressed with the sharp punishment on that wake-up whiff.
Yeah, just dash up and,
There's the attempting low crush again.
Yep, tried the conversion, but what a conversion from Shiro, from that stray hit. That's it. Yep, so PPP, give you the wall stun, And
he makes it look easy. Like, Shiro's opponents have had to do so much work to get into this position, and Shiro's turned it around again with very little, very fast.
Huge.
Or at least he makes it look like that.
Careful string play, 6P, 6PP. There you go. Catching him counter hit 6PP twice. Great. Just really careful basics of Virtua Fighter. Love to see it.
Oh, here we go.
Not teched.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, looking for a mini there, but...
Oh, we didn't stand up quick enough.
These elbows
6P doing so much work. And yeah, look, he's so good watching for that. I think he needed to stick with the mids there, Oyatsuman. He's I think it's I mean, we've called it out as a signature move. He's had so much success with it, but Shiro was watching for it. He ducked it handily that time.
Yeah, so I think he's recognized that Oyatsuman is crouching. He's using that move where he anticipates that an opponent is at Nitaku or trying to fuzzy. So I think in that particular scenario, he was expecting a standing guard, but just really great awareness. What a slide shuffle to parry the punch. Holy cow.
I thought he would have gone for the wall hit. Oh no!
Gang kicks. Yeah. What a whiff punish.
That is really unfortunate. I hope that Oyatsuman he couldn't recover from it. You've got to take your chances against Shiro.
Round 2. Ready?
Yeah, really good to see here. Shiro.
Oh, there it is.
What a
let's get out of here. He rolled away too far, man.
What a conversion. Again to wall damage. That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, it's because of he fell awkwardly because of off axis from the wall, and Shiro immediately adjusted the combo.
That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that. That's the first time I've seen that conversion done in that way. So, and it was very decent damage too. There's a match point for Shiro, making it 2 back throws in a row.
Oh, nicely done.
Counter hit finally.
Yeah, called out the mid attempt and actually got him low. That's a double 2P again from Matsumi. It looks like desperation, but there's a method here, I think. Oh no. Shiro just says, I can hit you low anytime I want.
Yeah, and, that's it.
Man, that was a steamroll.
Yeah, that's something that Iron Mike taught me. He said that oftentimes a very, very good player will have an understanding of your weakness and will use it at only the critical time. So when you see something like that, that's the last round. Now Shiro doesn't have to hide his cards anymore. He goes, all right, I know you don't crouch. I got you covered. And he'll do like 4 lows in a row. And he's held it back. He's held that piece of information back until the critical moment, right? In order to that you just can't counter adapt. So really strong showing from Shiro, right? Fighting his way through the gauntlet of losers bracket. I'm not quite sure who put him in losers bracket to begin with, but the grand final is here, and the grand final is Shiokara versus Shiro, and we'll have that for you after a short break. So stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly.
Peggy 12. Peggy 18.
Ready, go!
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world.
The Pack.
Returning to the ring, a legend in his own right, a man who once dominated wrestling, who redefined what it means to be a fighter, and what dark design of fate has led him to face tonight, the very team that spelled an end to his glory days, that led to his controversial retirement that shocked the world. Free from his pack tonight, he's hunting solo. The force of pain you can contain. Wolf Hockfield!
All right, folks, welcome back. We've had a short break after an electrifying losers final here. It's Virtua Fighter Open Championship online, and I'm here with Toto. We're about to see a grand finals match between Shiro and Shiokara. Tell us about this match. What are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, Shiro has been on a tear since he entered the losers bracket. All of the matches we've watched have been really strong, right? So even when they've been even in life, just the adaptation, the ring awareness, the incidental damage conversion, the decision making, just using all of Jackie's tools, the execution, using the eye Gary so strongly, it's amazing to watch. But Shiokara, an expert at the online environment, plays online a lot, is the highest ranked, so very comfortable, has it all set up nicely. I'd be very curious to see what character he plays versus Jackie, so whether he chooses Akira or Taka Arashi. So,
strangely enough, we've seen a lot less of Shiokara because we've had this. And one of the challenges of losers bracket is you play more matches, so we've seen more of Shiro at this point. And Shiokara, we've seen a half and a half. We've seen Taka, and then we've seen Akira, and it was a brutal Akira. So we don't know what we're going to get in this match against Jackie.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. And again, matchups are a funny old thing in Virtua Fighter. I'm not really sure that there are 6-4s or 7-3s like we used to talk about in the old Super Turbo days. But I really do think that it's play dependent. So we'll see.
And they're both aggressive players. We know that, and we've seen that once under pressure, they're both able to wait and poke a hole in the defense of the opponent, and then turn it back into an attacking game. So that's been interesting to watch as well.
Yeah. So I'm very interested. Look, Jackie has some pretty good tools to deal with the Taka Arashi matchup. there's incidental damage, like strings and things, that I was alluding to it earlier, but they're called natural combos on Taka. So Jackie has a few pretty good ones, right? But also Akira has quite good Taka damage as well, so can do quite high output and can use a quarter circle back punch to get really good damage on Taka there as well. And of course, the guard break that Akira has is not character dependent, right? It's 70 damage no matter who you are if you're standing guarding, so potentially that could be a factor in the selection as well.
Yeah, so it's we know for sure that Shiro is going to be Jackie, and now we've got Shiokara coming in. We can see the Akira.
Yeah, that's right.
Going to backup feed.
Yep. So these guys have started, but we're just having a bit of a choppy time here. But it looks like Shiokara has selected the Akira here, and they're straight into it. It doesn't look like there's any button checks.
Apologies, guys. We're just working through a technical issue on our end, as we can't see the match as well as we'd like. You should be able to see it pretty well.
Yeah, but it looks like Shiokara has taken the first round, so and he's using Akira, as we said, so potentially looking at that guard break being meaningful.
Yep. Okay, there we go. We've got our backup feed running, and we can see beautiful use of shoulder to finish off second round from Shiokara. Excuses for missing a little bit of the match there, fellas. Guard break of doom, beautifully done.
Yep, so pretty good there. So 2 rounds up is Shiokara, on 3 rounds up almost, so almost won the match here. But a very fast match, an excellent even. So a dominating first match. Yeah, a dominating first match there.
So yeah, we've seen Shiro in this position before, however, so he's managed to adapt and adjust. I mean, I think there's a fair bit of his game which is about him playing his game. So we've seen so far Shiokara just keep him out of doing that. So there's actually a fairly big question mark hanging over here, because I don't think anyone's done that to Shiro quite so effectively so far.
Yeah, look what Shiro seems to be an expert at adaptation. So it's like he needs a game to get in. That's what it seems to be to me. Even when he's won, he's been a bit sketchy in those first games, except when it's been a domination. But I think that time is necessary for him as a player.
Nice movement again from Shiokara to start things off. And evading every throw.
Finally a neutral to reset the meta.
Ooh, that strong forward throw. And a little bit of hop back to make space. There's a lot of control here. Ducking under the throw attempt, PK punish. And this is just a masterclass at this point.
Yeah, so ducking under that second hit of 6 PP. So, whoa, a little fake kick there. What a launch through the throw. You know, really confident play from Shiokara to launch that throw there.
I love that choice, back throw on the wall. The player whose back is to the wall wants to avoid forward throw, wants to avoid guard break. Nice stuff. Same scenario. Finishing up again by pressuring, knowing that, okay, this is where the opponent wants to play their turn, ducking under the throw.
Yeah,
okay.
So almost there. With this second match is Shiokara. What a guard break. Just a little bit of movement to force him to stand, or catch a fuzzy potentially. It's straight into the guard break. And now, looks like Shiro, yes, that's the first time I've seen a sweep in this whole match. What a yagiri, that's it.
Nice, here goes the combo.
Yep.
So yeah, nice signs from Shiro there, and he managed to play all the way through to a win of the round. And he started with a throw. Let's see what he does here, 2P. Keep it simple.
Oh, nice mid there.
Look at that slow string delay.
Oh, throw tech. That's been a big factor in this matchup, actually. It seems that Shiokara has really good throw techs.
That was amazing recognition from Shiokara. Shiro was 2P and blocking, and then he guard breaked. And so suddenly the dynamic has changed, and he's back on the attack, and Shiokara takes another match. And despite Shiro deliberately slowing it down through the middle section of that second match, Shiokara found a way to break through and speed it up again. And it seems like we're rushing towards another dominating match.
Yeah, it's really crazy to see the domination that Shiokara is having here. I'm not quite sure what Shiro can do to break through, but I think that potentially the key might be more lows. Yeah, I think he might be more lows. That's one thing that he has used on other characters or other players that he hasn't used on Akira. Potentially there's something about the matchup there that he doesn't like to use those lows, but sweeps and the various strings which have low enders, I think have been a key factor here to open up other players.
Back throw nicely done there by Shiokara, and he actually was testing Shiro in the previous round a little bit after receiving a lot of aggression, and he suffered for it because he was backstepping and crouching, and he got hit with a lot of mids. This time, he's going on the offensive. There's that low you're looking for, Toto.
Yep, and that's it. Now, all of a sudden, he's got Shiokara looking for lows. Right, so that just gives you that little opening that you need to start doing other things,
Well, look at that movement. Just a rush forward fuzzy and then nothing. And he's managed to break Shiro open again.
Tech.
Nice evade. Sorry, back tech. Ooh, 2 super dashing elbows into a low kick just when you think, I need to stand there and block. And Shiro's copying it. Sweet from Shiokara's aggressive Akira. Another guard break.
Guard break. Another one.
Look at that. Double fuzzy.
Yeah,
Escape.
back tech.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And
wow.
he's just bullied his way through that attempt to tech off the wall. Elbows all day. Thank you very much. And Shiokara with his Akira. Tucker was just the entree. The main course has been Akira all along. There he goes.
Yeah.
And
That
it's
was a confident
Shiokara.
finish. So he did that move expecting either a high, but he tried to do some shenanigans running off the wall, and he just said, no, not having it. Please stand here and play the game with me. There you go, super dashing elbow. A really great awareness from Shiokara there. He did 6 XP, and then immediately after 6 XP, he did 6 XP again, knowing that he was only slightly positive. And it worked really well. So a really dominant performance from Shiokara there. These guys, I think, must play a lot. Maybe they play online a lot, because that was just a sweep, right? I'm not really sure if you could attribute that all to like a skill gap. I think that must have been a familiarity situation there. But potentially Shiro a little bit nervous. It looked like when he started opening up in that last match, using a bit more lows, using a sweep. He only used a single sweep. That might have been the key. But the problem is Akira is very strong with low punishes, right? So if your opponent is a really good at 1 frame knee, you have a 17 frame launcher that does a huge amount of damage from a crouch, and he has also other various good tools to punish lows to 15 frames and 16 frames as well. So it can be a bit scary because Akira's 1-touch damage is very high, so you take less risks on big sweeps, but you just have to put credit to Shiokara for playing such a dominant game.
Yeah, it's so aggressive and also a lot of really sharp recognition of every attempt that Shiro made to turn things around. He would adjust subtly, but also aggressively. Like we saw those double fuzzies, and he just stayed in his face where he needed to be, except for one round where he backed off and he lost that round. So he got straight back in there. And Shiokara obviously has the skills to play at speed and force the opponent on the back foot. So amazing effort. He stamps his ticket through to the regional finals. So it's a reminder, we're not finished here. It's the APAC regional final coming up on the 21st of September at 1 p.m. Right here at Tampa Never Sleeps and Virtua Fighter channel from Sega. So look forward to that. We've also got some exciting general opportunities for people to play Virtua Fighter. We'd love for you guys to join us. We're playing all the time. Join us for the closed beta test. So if you haven't been able to jump on Revo on PC yet, console players, now's your time. PS5 and Xbox, there'll be a closed beta test alongside Steam players on September 10 to 15. So register now, go to the Sega website and look at the Virtua Fighter social media for links. And we'll see you online in the closed beta test. And then we also have EU coming up. So we're looking forward to the EU qualifiers. So EU players, make sure you get registered. That's coming up with Qualifier 1 on September 28. Registration closes on September 26. So you've got a couple of weeks for that one, and then we'll follow that up on October 5. Don't miss these. 2 chances to get into the EU regional final, which will follow. And of course, the big ticket is whoever wins each of these regional finals goes all the way to the global final in these amazing open championships. Thank you to Sega for running this for the Virtua Fighter community. It's been amazing to see everybody really getting into it, getting back. We've seen that in our own scene, haven't we, Toto? With so many new players.
There's been a resurgence. Yeah, there's been a resurgence in our scene, and things like Discord, they really do help. So join the Virtua Fighter official Discord, join the Virtua Fighter Australia Discord. These are really useful tools for Sega to hear your feedback. So Sega does listen very carefully to the feedback that you give in the official Virtua Fighter Discord. Especially, they can check that your gamer tag, and if you do own a copy of the game, they can see your hours played and things like that. So alongside the closed beta, there's an application you can put in to have your name featured in the world stage mode. So please do that. Please register your name and so that when a future player is playing on PS5, they can see that Toto or Berserk is was playing at Tiger Uppercut or Combo Breaker or whatever it might be. So
yeah,
we are doing our best to keep the scene alive and well here in Australia. Both Berserk and I, myself from Sydney, Berserk from Melbourne. And we're really excited about the future of the game, with the forthcoming Virtua Fighter 6, as well as Tiger Uppercut coming in November and the online qualifiers for the EU. We think there's a lot of Virtua Fighter action still to come this year, and we hope that you will join us in our excitement.
Yeah, we'll see you guys at the next events. Looking forward to the new qualifiers, and we'll see you online playing Virtua Fighter. That's us signing out.
Right.
Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Hope you enjoy the matches.